Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Flashlight Talk, Flashlight whatever, Flashlight Review. This flashlight was sent to me for a fair and honest review, so I just wanted to let you guys know that up front. It is let's see here if I can get that focused, a Sofirn SP31 version 2. Wanted to make sure that I got that correct. And basically it's a standard 18650 EDC light, but this one does do some things a little different, a little special. The flashlight comes with the Sofirn's version of an 18650. Let me see what the rating is on the battery as far as the milliamps. I did not write that down, so let me tell you that real quick. It comes with a 3000 milliamp hour 18650. So it's there you go. And I've been pretty impressed with this battery. It's not like a cheap throw-in battery that you normally get. It's actually been pretty decent. It's actually been a good battery. Let's see here. The range of this light is 200 meters, so it's rated for a little bit farther distance than normal EDC pocket flashlights. Comes with the pocket clip, comes with a external battery charger. Most of these lights that I've seen, that I've reviewed, have built-in charging. That was kind of a thing that I kind of liked. But then I got my own external battery charger. Like I've got a nice external battery charger. So now that's all I use. Even if a battery has charging, I don't use that charging. That's my preferred way to charge batteries. So the fact that this doesn't have built-in charging, it has an external charger that comes with, I like that personally better. Five light modes. You've got the lowest setting, the Firefly mode, is 5 lumen. Low is 50 lumen. Medium is 160 lumen. High is 500 lumen. Turbo is the full 1200 lumen. So that's what the light levels are rated at. Quick, it has a battery level indicator, which I really like this particular one, and let me show you why. Most of these battery level indicators, they come on and they stay on a lot of times, or they stay on might as well stay on all the time because they stay on a lengthy amount of time. This one comes on long enough to show you what the battery level is and then goes out, which I really like. Check this out. And then it will pretty shortly turn off. I like that. That's definitely, it's a little thing, but I really like that. As far as the quality and build of the light, I have to tell you, I reviewed a Sofirn light in the past that was a budget light. It was, inexpensive light. I believe it was like $15 or something. That was sent to me before. This is my second Sofirn light that I've reviewed for them. And the first one was, I gave it a good review because it was cheap. It was an inexpensive light. Well, this light is still pretty inexpensive for what it is. And I'm really, it's not too many times that I get lights in that not only meet my expectations, but they go like a notch above my expectations. I just expected this to be, a regular, run-of-the-mill boring light, but it's actually better than that. It's a very good light. If this light cost more money, if this were a higher level brand, like a Nightcore or a Through Night or something of that range, I would still be okay. If this were a $75 to $100 flashlight, I would be like, okay, I see it, I get it. It's really good. It's surprisingly good. There are a couple of places where you can kind of see the cost savings, but overall, a really surprisingly good light. So a couple of things about it. I love the stainless steel clip. The flashlight can use protected or unprotected cells. It's got a single spring in the rear. It's hard for you guys to see this in this lighting. Single spring rear, and the head is single spring as well. But one of the places where you can see a little bit of cost saving going on, the retaining ring and the tail cap, just something to mention. There you go. The retaining ring inside the cap is plastic, some sort of like Delron or something maybe. I'm not sure exactly what it's made out of, but like I don't foresee that being an issue or anything. It's just something of note. If you don't need to take this tail cap apart, then it's not an issue. But if you're a flashlight modder and you do like to take your switches apart and modify them and change them and stuff, it's just something of note to keep in mind. So to compare it to a more standard 18650 light, here's a standard 18650 light. This one has the exact same UI, this is my favorite UI for a flashlight of this type. And to compare it, see if I can get comparison. They're tail cap to tail cap. See, so it's slightly shorter, and then see if you guys can see that. I probably can't. Let me move this one up. You probably can't tell, but the Sofirn is slightly narrower as well. So it carries a little bit more compactly. Compactly? I just made up a new word. More compactly. It's more comfortable to carry. It's noticeably, when you're holding it, it's noticeably narrower. It's noticeably smaller. One thing I like about this flashlight a lot is that the mode switch is just small and like harder to push. This one kind of is dome shaped, if you can see that, and it's like, kind of easy to push. So I think this one would be a lot harder to push accidentally. The tail cap is on this light. This is a Night Fox UT20, by the way, for anybody that's interested in that. But this is my budget king light, by the way. This is the light that is still #1 on my list for budget lights. But this one's like super easy to hit the tail, just any pressure at all, and the light comes on. And not ideal. This one is a whole lot harder to push. This one, to get the light to come on, it's a whole lot. You got to put noticeably more pressure on to get it the half on, to get the momentary on. This is a mechanical switch, my favorite for a duty light for sure. It's harder to push, so you're not going to accidentally turn this on. And then the full click, it just feels more like purposeful, like you have to push this purposefully. Another new made-up word, I guess. But it's harder to push, and it's noticeable. So let's talk about the performance of the light. This light, and I think this is typical of most of these kind of 18650 EDC lights, is that it's floody. It'll reach out about. In actuality, if you're using this light, this thing is useful to about, I'm going to say maybe a little over 100 feet or so. To get a lot of light on something to actually be useful, it doesn't throw light super far. It's more of a flood type beam. This is more of a combination situation, because they cut the cap off the LED so it throws farther. They both have smooth reflectors, but this one definitely throws a more compact, tighter beam farther, and it's noticeably farther. But it does have noticeably less flood. So if you've ever said to yourself, man, I really love my PD35 or what's that other one? Was something 12. I can't remember off the top of my head. If you ever said to yourself, man, my EDC light is just perfect, I just wish it had just a little bit more throw, well then in comes this light, because this light is exactly that. It's one of these or equivalent, but throws the beam tighter and farther away. The beam has no noticeable artifacting. It's really tight. It's bright white. The temperature, I would say, is over 6,000. I'm going to say it's probably 6,300 or so. It's a very white, bright light. No discoloration. It's not bluish or greenish or yellowish or anything. It's pure white, no other colors, super tight beam. And we'll have shown you some instances of that. And it's how it works is the tail cap switch is always on and off. That's all it does, on and off, as it should be. You know, if you're using this for professional work, that's all this tail cap should do. All of your modes, like when you turn it on, this, you know, that was first one was low, there's next one, and then turbo. And that's all this button on the front does, is your modes. So it gives you the opportunity to, you know, it gives you the ability to, you know, hold your weapon and use your light at the same time. Tail cap switch, it's more of a tactical type setup, and that's the way it should be for an on-duty light. So that's about all I have to say about it. I would recommend this light. It's better than I expected. It's much better than I expected. And the battery that you get with it is a real serious value, because it's a really good battery. The charger that comes with this is just a USB external charger that I like to keep. I carry it with me in my bag. And then when it's charging, it's red. It's got a red light on it. And when it's done charging, it turns green. Can't ask for anything better than that. If you have any questions that I haven't covered about this light, drop them in the comments and I'll try and answer them for you. But thanks for watching, guys, and this has been another New Zona Rides flashlight review. Catch you on the next one.